And welcome back to Saturday Report, everybody. I'm Rita Crosby. Since September, the world has been watching as brave Iranian protesters continue their fight against Iran's strict regime. Now, in the first official comment on the casualties, an Iranian general has acknowledged that more than 300 people have been killed in connection to the protests. And joining us now is KenTimmerman. He is a member of the National Security and Foreign Policy Advisory Board of Trump for President 2016, and also the president and CEO of the Foundation for Democracy in Iran. Ken, great to have you here. And also with us is former Trump campaign foreign policy advisor and also the author of another great book. This is a new one, Iran, an Imperialist Republic and U.S. Policy. My dear friend Walid Phares. Great to have both of you guys here. I'm so thrilled. Walid, I want to start with you because, we're seeing now so many people, young and old, protesting in the streets of Iran. Is this different? There's something that feels different about this moment, Walid.
Absolutely. You, as a journalist who lived through all these foreign affairs coverage, can feel, and the public can feel, that this is different. There are so many reasons. There were many waves, 99, 2009, 19, and now. The major reason for that difference can be, split into, number one, who's leading this revolt? Women, girls, teenagers, and the minorities, all together at the same time. That's why we feel it is different. That's why we feel it is going to be irreversible. Second, the access to technology, Rita. Yes, the regime tried to shut off or shut down the Twitter and the internet. They were not able, and I can explain why. But for these two reasons, you can see a revolution that may take time. This is not an overnight issue, but it's not going backward anymore.
Ken, you just heard from Walid that he believes this is going full steam ahead. Do you see the same thing? And it is interesting, as Walid points out, it started out with women, and now it's really grown to so many different groups have gotten involved. This is a fight for freedom for all Iranians, and it's been astounding to see the response.
Well, absolutely correct. And this past week, you saw oil field workers join the protests. That's a key part of Iranian society. It's the backbone of the economy. That is ultimately what broke the back of the Shah's regime in 1978, was when the oil field workers joined the national strikes. You have truckers who are now refusing to ship goods that come from factories that are on strike. And the most important thing, and I really second what Walid just said, you have this conjunction of Kurds and Baluchis and Azeris down in the south and the Persians in Tehran. And when you get all of those groups of Iranians together, they have been separated by the regime for a long time. You get them all working together for freedom. I think that they can accomplish it. Again, we will know when you see the rats jumping ship, when you see the regime leaders sending their children overseas and their money overseas. That will be the key, I believe, indicator of imminent downfall. And
Ken, when could that happen? Could that happen in the near future, or is that a bit away?
Oh, I think that could happen in the near future. There have already been rumors of Mohsen Rezai, the former head of the Revolutionary Guard, who is now the vice president of this regime, sending his brother to Canada with $150 million to invest in real estate. Now, that is not confirmed yet, but it's an important indicator. Where there is smoke, there's fire, and there is so much black money. I expect we will be finding out about this in the coming weeks. One thing I want to add here, there's a group called Black Rewards. They're a hackers group. And they have gotten into the Supreme Leader's emails. They've gotten into his briefing books. And this is a regime in disarray. He is telling his closest advisors to grow a spine. He thinks they haven't been tough enough. He calls this a foreign plot. So the regime is really worried. They're now asking Russia for help with anti-riot gear and training.
Wow, that is a big development, Ken. And as you're hearing, Walid, too, the fact that they're getting into the supreme leaders, that's an amazing development, as you both know all too well. What also do you think about the Biden's response, the Biden administration response? It's been amazing because he just put out, it was like a little, basically a little statement, as you saw, Walid, and it was like, we support peaceful protesters, basically. Where's the Biden administration on this one?
Well, it's at least, Rita, a little bit better than the response of the Obama administration in 2009, when 1.5 million Iranians were demonstrating in the streets of Tehran. A change could have happened then. Unfortunately, it was in preparation. That position then was in preparation for what became the Iran deal. But still, the Biden administration could do much more. Look at France is taking a position. The European Parliament is taking a position. The Prime Minister of Italy is taking a position. And of course, in the Middle East, the Biden administration, Rita, has a problem, which is the Iran deal. Still, there is a whole group inside the Biden administration that wants the president to sign that deal. And of course, there's another wing that is warning, if we sign the Iran deal at this point in time, U.S. policy with regard to the Middle East is going to be basically abandoned by our allies, Israel, the Arab coalition, many European partners. So he will have to make a stand. I'm talking about the president and his cabinet to let go of the Iran deal. Once that is done, what Ken has said will happen more rapidly, meaning the Iranians will be encouraged to continue with their struggle and change that regime.
Yeah, wow. It is so fascinating to see what's going on. And I agree with you. That was such a missed opportunity, Walid, under the Obama administration when we saw that and everybody was saying, what are they going to do? They didn't do anything. And I agree with you. It's the Iran deal. They're so desperate to try to get that deal. And it is such a sad thing. But let's hope, as both of you are saying, that this is a moment and hopefully is irreversible and they go full steam ahead with these protests. Bravo to both of you. Great to have you both here. Ken and Walid, two of the best in the business. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you, everybody. And coming up next, plummeting criminal charges. Well, Mayor Eric Adams is forcibly hospitalizing the whole